Hello, folks. Stone Dog here. This one's gonna be about whether or not we should teach creationism in schools. And as an atheist, I actually happen to think we ought to. And I know most of you atheists out there going like, "What? He said what? We should? Why?" Well, this is the reason why. Because it's wrong. And now you might be thinking, wrong? Isn't that why we shouldn't be teaching it in school? And no, I think teaching it in school is the perfect opportunity to nip this problem in the butt, to prove that creationism is wrong, because in the science room it will be subject to test. And I think this is also a good way of bringing back a lot of experimentation within the classroom, because if creationism is true, then you should be able to get certain results out of certain things. Like, you should be able to make the Grand Canyon with a huge dosing of water. That experiment could be done on a small scale in a classroom, and I think it will yield the opposite results, that it takes a small amount of water over a long period of time to carve out something like the Grand Canyon. And so I think this is the perfect things like that, experiments like that will absolutely destroy the creationist arguments that, okay, let's say that there was this canopy of water over the place that allowed everything to live so much longer. Well, let's experiment on that. Let's see how much of a water canopy it would take to actually block out radiation, and see what effects that would actually have on the environment. The pressure difference, the fact that water vapor is a massive greenhouse gas, to have such a huge layer of water vapor up there would seemingly increase the temperature of this earth so much so that it would be nearly impossible to live. But that's exactly my point. These experiments can be done, these experiments can be demonstrated wrong for the creationist side and right for the evolutionist side. And I think putting it in school is the best place to help kids start thinking logically about this kind of thing, and then to help apply logic to biblical things as opposed to just things of science. Because anyone who actually says that, oh well, God's beyond the universe, we can't know anything. Well, no, if God exists, then you can understand him scientifically. Period. Even if he's outside of the nature of our universe, even if he's outside this universe, if we can go outside this universe and study what he is, where he is, we can understand the laws of physics that govern him. And there has to be some sort of laws of physics that govern God. If you don't think so, then obviously you're not thinking. Anyway, this one's going to be a pretty short clip. That's really about all I had to say, although I will say something else about the whole flood situation. That one too could be proven, disproven, and here's how. I figure if this massive worldwide flood happened that covered up all the dinosaurs and that quick covered all of them so that they could be preserved, that the actual amount of preservation of fossils and bones would be hundreds of times what it is now, because it is hard to find bones. If you find some, you're lucky. If this flood happened and covered up practically every last life form on the planet except obviously Noah and them, then it seems like you could go up in your backyard and dig up and find an ass load of these. And I think you can experiment scientifically to see what rate at which a massive flood would actually put down fossils, and what rate just small floods, small adding of soil to things would preserve fossils. That would be the evolutionary theory. And I think if you do this experiment, especially in classrooms, the children will be able to see which one is more scientifically valid, and it's obviously evolution instead of creation. And I think, like I said, to put that in school, I think would to absolutely be to destroy the theory. To keep it on the back burner, to put it away so nobody really hears about it, I think lends credence to it to some degree. I think we should put it out there. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. Anyone have any opinions? I'd really like to hear them.